today I'm helping out all of you people who have their exams coming up, maybe some finals. Board exams in Delhi are in full force, so I hope to help you all with these tips. So I have completed my school and my graduation as well, which is 3 years of college, and yes, I've given my fair share of finals, tests and all those things, and I'm not bragging or anything, but I actually did top my class in 11th and 12th. I got a distinction, all that thing in 12th, but I've also failed a few exams in other classes, so I've seen the best of both sides. So these tips are going to help all of you people out there, so let's go. So you guys are really interested in knowing what worked for me at that time. So the first thing that worked was to reading chapters. Now in 11th and 12th, I did not learn and write and memorize any answer, to be honest. I took arts, which is humanities, so I studied social science, geography. So those subjects were not really something that I need to say solve a problem or remember a periodic table. It was not like that, right? And the arts and the humanities chapters are like this, that they kind of tie in together, especially political science, so you can really read through the chapters and know what happened. So in every exam I would not learn, memorize or do stuff like that. I would just go ahead, read all of the chapters. I would basically go through every chapter. So if I'm reading it, I have covered all the details of that chapter, right? And now I remember it all because I've just read it all again. So that really helps. And as I said, at the last moment when you have to study every single thing from the book, it gets a bit tiring to read every single chapter, and that gets boring. So for that, my next point comes in place, which is to make notes. So whenever you study something, make sure to make notes. Now, I used to tell my brother to do that a lot, but then he would not understand how you're supposed to make notes. But now he's gotten how to do it, and it's very easy, and he loves it too. So when I'm reading them, if I see that there's an important point, I would either underline it, highlight it with a highlighter if I'm fancy like that, and I would just take I would just keep a separate notebook and I would write down. So there's chapter name and then main bullet points that I need to remember. What I used to do is write the points that I will forget. I know, so I never remember dates in history, yet I love history. So I would write maybe dates, what happened on those days, just bullet points, so that before the exam I just read that and then it's done. So I would study everything the night before, till the night before, and on that very day I would just go through the notes of the things that I know I'm going to forget. I would read that and done. Before the exam I would not study anything else. I would not even take my book with me because I know that people would ask and all that stuff. And that really helped me stay sane, because everyone would be going crazy. I have to study this last moment, I have to study that last moment. I would not study everything, and at that time I would just try to be calm, breathe, think of good things, so that at least I'm not messed up. Because before going the exam, if your mind is all muddled up with all the things will get confusing, information will get mixed up, and you would forget stuff. So if there are, as I said, some special dates, or in English as you have to remember the names of poets, you know that you're going to forget them or something like that, what I would do is I would go in the exam. So in the written exams you get those answer booklets, right? So on the very last page with a pencil I would write down things that I know I'm going to forget, or if there's a really important question that I know is going to come, I would just write down the bullet points of it, maybe on behind my question paper or behind my answer script, and keep it with me. And if that answer comes, I've done with the answer, I would just quickly erase it off so that teachers don't think that I'm cheating with it, because people could think that, you know, someone else has written it, or I'm going to give this answer script to someone. So yeah, it could really get you in trouble, because once a teacher saw it and I was like, I'm just writing it for my reference, but then he was like, you're not supposed to write it because it could be used for cheating. So I rubbed it off, but then it really depends. So that's just a tricky tip that I'm sharing, but if you get in trouble, hey, I already warned. Now, whenever you're giving exams, of course, someone has already given those exams, right? So one practice which is just, it really helps a lot, is to go through and solve the question papers of the previous years, because, you know, when you're giving board exams, I'm going to talk with that as a base only. The pre-board question papers that are made by your school only are actually relatively difficult than the actual question paper of the board exam. So, you know, whenever the pre-board exams would roll out, we were like, oh my god, this is so difficult, such twisted questions, this, that. We were like, we're not going to be able to make it, we're failing 12th. Then when we actually got around to solving the actual board question paper, we were like, hey, this is much easier, and we would solve it throughout the year, of course. So by the end of the year, we were actually chilled out, being like, you know what, these question papers are actually difficult, but the actual question papers are going to be easy, so we'll be able to crack the questions. And now my my most important tip, which I followed, I figured out by the end of 11th, and it helped me so much, guys. And I would really say that the reason I scored so well in 12th is because of this tip, which is that study to learn. Okay, don't study for the marks, the grades, to pass, to make a future, or any of that. I use those things to this day. I've used it in my graduation, those things that I learned there. I've used them in important conversation, and it really just shows that, okay, you have a brain, right? You know stuff. I used to like my books so much because I would treat them as just reading material for fun, because I like to look up facts and all. I was like, Bhairavi, you do that so much, just think of it as the same thing. That's what I did, and when I did that, things got so much easier, guys, I'm telling you. So just study to learn and to gain knowledge in life, and that would really help you. And if you're giving exams now, it's so much easier for you. There are channels on YouTube, videos on YouTube. There are so many links online where you can actually visually see the entire thing, learn better, learn in a more fun way. So use all of your resources and try to make study fun. It's not that boring, trust me, because now if I try to gain knowledge about something, it's really difficult, because the school curriculum is so easy and it's made in a way where you can learn everything easily, right? But if you like, you know, look up articles and all, it's not going to be that easy and interesting. So just enjoy gaining knowledge for as long as you can. So these were my few tips. I don't even know if they were of any use. If they were, make sure to hit the thumbs up button. Tell me in the comments below. I don't know what I did with this video. It was just basically what I did, and I shared it with you guys. I don't know if it was useful, if you'll be like, I already know it, you know, I don't know. Just put your comments in the comment section below, or keep the conversation going on my Twitter, Instagram, and Snapchat, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye bye.